If you're a high ticket closer who is hungry to learn and grow, you want to be the best, welcome. My name is Zach Carbis. I started high ticket sales 4 months ago, and in those 4 months, I have collected $320,000 in cash. I've sold deals up to $48,000. And on top of that, I hit my first 12K month in 73 days of high ticket sales. This channel is for me to document my learnings and ultimately help as many people as possible on my journey to 50K per month and beyond. You have absolutely no reason to listen to this video and not take notes. Take notes, learn, post those learnings in the comment section below. Enjoy, and I'll see you on the inside.
All right, let's get it. Call review. Changing this woman's life. Such a fulfilling call.
Who are coming here to work with us are on the right path for success. So I work closely with Vincent. That's ultimately my goal and focus here today. Cool? Fantastic. Did you give me some
Framing the call.
data? What's your current height, weight, and age?
Well, might as well say 63, nearly there. Height is 5'2", and weight I'm 99 kilos. Sorry.
Okay.
Imperial
Anyway.
height.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I do the same thing. Cool. So you're wanting to get down to 69 or further?
Well, my doctor has said 70, so yeah, roughly around there. Sure, if I can get less, around 65. I remember being that, and was really comfortable. So yeah, in that range.
Were you really happy as the 65?
Probably, yeah.
If they give you a lower number, let's say she says, oh, maybe 70, that's what the doctor told me. Always pro for more. Yeah, but what do you want? You want 65. Okay, go for 65. Bang. Bigger gap, but also you don't want them to sell themselves short.
Let's make it fucking 65, mate. Excuse my French.
You're right. Yeah, I speak that language too.
Oh, mate, we're Aussies, right? Okay, cool. Well, something that you forgot was a metabolic quiz. Do you remember that?
Yep.
So with that quiz, it's not blood work by any means, so it's not 100%.
So this is like a metabolic frame that I have to do for the offer. Cool. Getting a time frame on the pain in terms of when was the last time she was at her goal.
To give me some context, when was the last time you were 65 kilos?
It would be 30, 35 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, long time.
35. It is a long time.
It is.
However, like, it's not uncommon with the people that we work with. Gaining 30 kilos isn't an overnight thing, so it is doable to make that change. I guess for you, I know that your metabolism
She was laughing, I would have called that out.
can make it harder to lose weight, and like we said, the events as well, and the injuries. But aside from those things, because they are somewhat external, what internal reason do you feel has been the biggest struggle?
Pre-framing the question because I knew she was going to give me some like, oh, freaking, my metabolism is low. And it's like, hey, no, it's your ultimate responsibility to lose the weight. So I pre-framed the question heavy. What internal reason do you feel is the reason why you can't lose this, or you haven't lost this weight?
With you in terms of losing this weight and keeping it off?
Yeah. Yeah, hard. I was put on medication around that 30 years ago, and I just stacked on 18 kilos like within 6 months.
When was that?
And it was an antidepressant.
This is very common. With antidepressant medication, people tend to put on weight more. I don't know if that's because it increases their cravings and everyone just fundamentally eats more. It would increase their food intake, but I'm curious how.
Medication. So yeah, that was
But it's like, get off the medication. You won't be fat and you'll be happier.
about 30 years ago.
Okay.
And yeah, it's just like my doctor has said, unless I come off that, I'm not going to lose it.
You still not?
Yeah.
So if she thinks that if I don't get off the medication, I'm not going to lose the weight, like her doctor says, why is she on the call? Because she doesn't want to get off the medication. She's about to tell me.
Yeah, I'll probably be on it for like, yeah. So I sort of got to the point where I thought, well, it's either be on it and be fat or go off it and die. So,
Do you think that,
yeah.
like, if you were a lower weight, do you think that would probably be mental health in terms of antidepressant?
I don't actually. Yeah.
So that was interesting. Most people would, but for her it seems that even when she didn't have the weight, she had mental health issues. I don't think antidepressants is the answer, but regardless of the matter, for her, I need to give her a belief that she can lose the weight, even while using the medication.
Yeah, something that I've struggled with all my life, really. Yeah. So,
Well, I guess
yeah, plus with other things going on in my life, it's just, yeah.
You can hear it in her voice already. She's going to cry.
Too hard. It's easier to stay on it, yeah.
yeah.
She's smiling a bit. I would also be like, I understand that's hard, and everything that you say, I'm noticing something, and I'm not saying this to be a dick, but rather to call things out and ultimately try to help. You're saying these very painful things. Why do you think you're smiling? Oh, because if I smile, if I don't smile, I'll cry. And then I'd talk to her about, well, in order to feel it or heal it, we need to feel it first. So I understand that maybe it's uncomfortable crying on a call to a complete stranger on the other side of the country, but that's the good news. We're never going to speak again. I mean, maybe a bit over email because I'll hold you accountable, but if we actually feel the emotional weight of the problem, that gives us more leverage to make a change. So does it make more sense to actually feel it so that we can heal it today? Yes, cool.
Actually, my mum was in the same position where she put on weight because of what seemed to be the medication, and it makes it easier to gain weight.
Yeah.
However, if like you didn't eat food, you wouldn't gain weight like magically. So I'm here to ultimately give you that hope, because if you think that there's no possible way to lose the weight unless you take off the medication, then if you knew that that was a reality, you wouldn't be on this call, would you?
No, no. Well, I'm not
So she has belief.
happy as I am. My son.
And she's already giving me her reason why. It's like, yo, wait. I want to get your bottleneck first, but this is going to tie in when I get into deep end.
Has cancer and he's got so I've got 3 grandkids. He's got a 9, a 7, and an 18-month-old. And I'm going to have to help my daughter bring those kids up. So I need to get fit for them.
Okay. Wow, that's honourable, and I really appreciate you sharing that. And I do want to dive into that a little bit deeper. Before we do,
Yep.
when it comes to losing weight, medications and hormones, the only difference that it makes is, let's say you should be burning this much energy throughout the day. What it's done is basically it's brought it down here. So your metabolism is slower. Your doctor's like, there's no way you can lose weight. You can fundamentally eat less, or we can bring back up your metabolism, and that's what we want to do. But fundamentally, you could have, over the past few years, had better eating habits.
So via losing weight and bringing up her lean muscle tissue, having better sleep habits, etc., we can help her burn more calories. But over the past few years, she's been eating in a surplus because of her lack of discipline. I need her to know that so that she can take ownership of the situation,
In order to maintain.
so that I don't get to think about it as objection.
Anyway, would you agree?
Yeah.
So like, I'm not here to say you're a fat ass, like all that jazz. I'm here to empower you, but knowing that discipline has been the problem as well as other things. But what we can control is the discipline. If we continue to not build the discipline, do you think you'll ever get to your goal?
No, I do need discipline, definitely. Possibly don't need.
So without building discipline, she's never going to reach her goal. She talks about dexamphetamine and the fact that she's not eating a lot of food.
Yeah. So
But it's like, you're eating more food than you need.
55 kilos.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm willing to put in the work. But yeah, I have to.
That was a commitment question. So you committed to finally doing this? Yes, I have to. Well, I mean, you don't have to. But she does for her grandchildren.
When you say you have to, what makes you have to?
Well, for my grandsons, yeah, I have to be there for.
So I wanted to be like, when you say have to, what makes you have to? It's funny. With fitness prospects, I can be a bit more, like, expressive like that.
Yeah. So they're my driving force. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is a health course, so I do need to know. Do you smoke or drink?
No.
Once again, these questions are specifically asking money, smoke or drink, how much you spend on takeout, trying to get money, because if they spend $200 a month on takeout, then at the end of the call I know that they can put that towards the program.
Okay. And how often would you say you eat at a restaurant or take out for example?
Rarely. Restaurant, probably 4 times a year.
Yep.
Take out maybe once a month.
Okay. And then with the family situation, who are you living with at the moment?
And I get family to get leverage on the partner, to be like, oh, well, who do you live with? Because that can affect how the diet's programmed. But all I want to know is, do they have a partner? And can I do a little pre-handle?
For the husband,
Especially for this woman.
he's a celiac, so that's why we don't go to restaurants. It's too hard for him. And I've got an adult son at home.
Okay, got you. And with your husband, does he know you're on this call?
No.
Okay. Does he know you've been wanting to lose weight?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say he's supportive?
He doesn't know she's on the call, and then she spends 2.2k. So funny. Which is, bro, it's a good thing. But anyway, does he know he... Yeah, so asking this line of questioning. Do they know you're on the call? Do they know you've been wanting to lose weight? Do they support you?
Minorly.
What does that mean?
I have found in the past, if I have managed to lose a bit, he'll go out and buy me a donut or something like that. You know, yeah.
Is he overweight himself?
Yeah,
As soon as I heard that, I'm like, is he overweight?
he's a bit. Yeah.
He's a bit overweight. So he's... Out of the two of them, she has to be the one to put in the work. And even if he disagrees, in objection, she goes, oh, I need to talk to my husband. Okay, but if he says, no, you told me earlier in this call that you were going to do it anyway. So if you're going to do it anyway, don't you think it would make more sense to draw that line in the sand right here, right now? Put yourself in the best possible position so that you can go to him with the solution, saying that I'm making this change, instead of going to him with the problem and him talking you out of it. Yes, it makes more sense. Okay, cool, let's do it.
Not quite as much as me, but he is, yeah.
Do you think out of the two of you that you're the one that needs to make the change?
Yeah.
Do you think he's ever going to make the change if you don't?
No.
Okay. And
No.
even if, and like, even if,
Yeah, sorry, go on.
even if he doesn't lose the weight and he's not fully supportive, would you say that you're going to do it regardless?
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Transparently, what most of the time happens is, I've seen a lot of women in your same position, you lose the weight, they kick into gear.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Now, obviously,
I didn't need to say that, but it gives her hope.
getting down to 65 is not going to be easy. So as we talked about, you're going to need to have that big driving factor.
Yeah.
The motivation is for those grandkids. I guess what bothers you about life right now that you think you're not going to be there the best for them?
Yeah, I don't know. I just want
Deep end question. She's already given me context. I want more clarity. So what specifically do you think you're missing out on?
to be there. You know, be able to play with them, keep up with them, which I can't do at the moment. Yeah, you know, running and playing and that sort of thing. Yeah, I do find my knee Just, stopping a bit. I did have a fall on it and had a meniscus tear about 3 years ago, so that wasn't pleasant. And I have found, since then, it does play up a bit. That probably is a pain for me. So I'm just lose weight and strengthen. Yeah.
So for that specific moment, like over the past, let's say 18 months, you've noticed that when you try to play with them, you're not able to keep on?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And going off of that, what else bothers you about life at 63, not 63, 99 kilos at the moment that's pushing you to get change?
I suppose it's not feeling comfortable in my own skin.
Yeah.
I love sewing.
She said that's super chill. So I knew that, okay, I need to give her, not a reality check, but really probe.
And it would be easier, thinner. But yeah, I've learned to adapt to that.
How long have you not felt comfortable in your own skin?
Yeah, probably 30 odd years.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
She laughed, call it out.
I'm not pointing this out to be a dick, but rather because I care. When you say you've not felt comfortable in your own skin for 30 years, why do you think you chuckle at that?
Life's just hard for me. Always has been.
Bang, bro, her voice changes instantly. Her state's gone from trying to hide it to life's been so hard.
I just don't like what I see in the mirror. I don't mind getting old. I think, really, for 62, I'm not just looking too bad, skin-wise. But, life's been a bit hard, a bit tough on me. But, I've left work probably 2 years ago now, due to a male not being nice, bullying me, basically. And I had to get out of there, or else I did want to do myself in. I don't want to feel like that again.
Okay. I really want to talk about your goals, because I think for you, getting that belief is going to help you the most. But before we do...
So that was a lot of pain, bro. I was like, why do you think that you feel that way? And then she goes to the lowest frequency. Instead of me asking... I think I go straight to consequence. But instead of asking, okay, so how does it make you feel that over the past 30 years you haven't and done a recap question, I think that would have cooked her too much. You know what? Actually, looking back, I could have done it. But in the moment, I was like, she's in this super negative state. I feel like as if though it wouldn't land the most optimal way. Then I described to her, hey, I do want to talk about your goals, because I think for you, belief is going to be important, because I know it is. And I want to tell her that so that she sets herself up for success on this call. And then I basically pre-frame consequence. And I always say, for me, what helped me make the switch was XYZ.
What pushes a lot of people to make a change is almost realizing the pain of their situation and coming to the conclusion that they don't deserve to live that life anymore. For example, there was a study that they did where they put a frog into lukewarm water, and then they slowly turned the temperature up for 1 degree every hour. And then when the water was boiling, the frog didn't move because it was so accustomed to the heat. And I feel like over the past 30 years, you've been in this boiling water.
That's an analogy, yeah. You just get used to what you are, yeah.
So what we need to do is realize that you're in boiling water and
Came up with it myself.
reflect. So I guess for you, Jenny, what has it been like over the past half of your...
Never mind, I didn't do a consequence question. I went another layer deeper. I was like, the reason why you're stuck is because you haven't seen it as big enough. Let's see it as big enough. Because I know you chuckled. What bothers you about the way that you look?
life, knowing that every day of your life you have a life with
Fire.
Yeah, well, it's not the best. Certainly not the best. And
She laughed again. Not the best laughed.
yeah, it's my fault. I haven't tried. I have tried.
Ownership. She's like, it's my fault. I have tried, but I haven't succeeded. Oh, ownership. I love it. 2 videos in a row, baby. Women saying that it's my fault and I'm going to change it. Let's go.
Bits and pieces over the years. But yeah, it's got to a time now where it has to work. Yeah, I'm determined to make this work and change, yeah.
I guess I'm curious, when you say it doesn't
Sad face. I don't know if you guys can see it because I probably blurred her out.
feel nice, people have different emotions, and I'm curious which one it is for you. What emotion gets elicited when we bring that up?
She said, I don't feel good. Like, it doesn't feel nice. So I was like, okay, well, if it doesn't feel nice, how does it feel? This opened a crazy door.
I suppose it's a disappointment for my mum, and I don't like disappointing her, and it's acceptance. Yeah, especially we live in a world where being overweight isn't looked upon greatly. Being short doesn't help either. Yeah.
When you say like disappointed your mum, is your mum still alive?
No, I lost her, 8 months ago.
Okay. And was she overweight?
No.
Okay. So, I'm curious, when you say disappointed your mother, what do you mean by that?
I was really confused. I'm like, well, when you say you disappointed your mum who's dead, what are we talking about?
She would often make comments on my weight.
Bro.
And I've got a sister who has never been overweight.
Do you think you carry shame?
Yeah, probably.
big question right there.
Yeah, Mum and my sister had a much stronger connection than I did. It was something I always struggled with.
Most of the world's problems come from shame. And I think for you specifically, we need to forgive the old version of you, that shame and that disappointment, and say, I forgive that old version of me so that I can step in.
If she keeps holding to that shame and disappointment, she's never going to be empowered to make a change. So I needed to plant the seed right here, right now. Otherwise, I wouldn't have closed this deal. Because I was in objections for 20 minutes from that. From like shame and not thinking of herself as good enough, even though I done this.
Into this new one. We gotta go.
Yeah, yeah.
So that feeling, we can either put it back down and keep going down the same road, or we can use that as fuel and get down to 65 kilos. Not just for your mum to make her proud, but also for you, because you deserve that too.
It's for me, yeah.
So for you, what are we going to do today?
I could have dug a little bit deeper. When you say like, you felt like they always had a strong connection, do you think that was because of your weight? Have you felt in other areas of your life that people have treated you differently because of your weight? Ooh.
What are we going to start today? The first option or the second one?
Oh no, we're going to go forward and make me feel good. Blow everyone else.
Oh, when I say first option, I mean continue by pushing down the shame or
Right.
using it and forgiving yourself.
She misinterpreted the question as in, are we going to do it for your mum or do it for you? And I was like, no. Are we doing it or are we not doing it?
And stepping into the new.
Yeah, I've got to step into the new, so second option. Yeah.
Okay, good stuff.
Could have said why.
When we get you down to 65 kilos within,
Okay, future pace time. Let's go.
I think 18 months is a good timeline. 12 months would be what we get you signed up for. But let's say 18 months from now, you're at 65 kilos, you're waking up every day. What time do you normally wake up?
Around 7.
Wake up at 7, you look in the mirror, you love what you see, you wake up confident, and you have this.
See how my state changes. So I go from deep pain, like, wow, to future pace. This is what it's going to be like for you. I need to lead in that state so that they can carry that state too.
Drive going into the day. You're playing with your grandchildren, no joint pain, but rather loving your day to day. What would that really do for you?
Oh, I feel a lot lighter, sort of in the head area.
Yeah.
Bro, did you hear her breath? Oh, like, relief, bro. Just imagining it. I dislike using the word bro, and I attempt, and I'm going to, and I already have taken it out of my vocabulary to a certain extent. So if you say the word bro often, moving forward, call me up.
Yeah,
Physically and mentally.
physically and mentally, yeah.
Okay.
I would just, yeah, feel like me again.
Really?
And just, I'd be able to, I
What it's feeling like you actually look like.
think I feel like I could get up in the morning and just tackle what's got to be done. Yeah, just start life again.
When you say feel like,
Notice she says the words feel. So I need to tap into that channel because that's her channel of thought.
you again, describe to me, what does that mean? What does that feel like?
I used to have a drive to, do a lot. I do find I procrastinate
Creating contrast.
a lot more these days about doing anything. I would like to stop that. Get up, know my jobs for the day, get them done, do any extras. I'd love to get out and volunteer somewhere and help the community again, sort of thing. I used to teach
Reminiscing on her past self, she's about to, and then I'm going to tie that in.
autistic young adults how to cook. Love doing that. Yeah, got a lot out of that.
So you're purpose driven.
Yeah, I used to be. Yeah.
Teaching people how to cook. It's so funny. By the way, I'm autistic, so I can say that.
Yeah.
So I'd love to get back to that. Yeah.
I mean, I would still argue you are now. Your main driver for losing this weight is to take care of your grandchildren and very honourable and purpose oriented. How do you think it would feel to know that you're actually aligned with the purpose that you've been putting together for? Once more.
Well, that'd be great. Yeah. Yeah. To be physically and mentally able to do what I'm supposed to do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think the person who says they can and the person who says they can't, they're both right. And it's very important that you believe that this is a reality. Otherwise, it's not going to evoke enough emotion for you to actually do it. So for you, Jenny, do you actually believe that that future is there for you to take and that you deserve that as well?
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, this.
Belief check. If they don't believe, they're not going to do it. So I needed to check her belief. She didn't seem like the type of person. I could have said, what makes you so confident?
Stuff. I'm very confident you're going to do well. Before we dive into how I think we can help, one thing that's going to push you on those worst days, potentially, is thinking of that worst
Consequence.
case reality of what would happen if we don't.
If the person is so low in deep pain, going lower into consequence, sometimes it's a bit low. So I'm like, I'm going to bring them low in deep pain. They're really low. Let's bring them back up. Give them air. Give them excitement. Give them belief. And then we take them back down.
Don't make a change. For me personally, at 12 years old, I was 220 pounds. It might not look like it, but I was. My mum was 330
Personal
pounds.
story.
My dad was 220 as well. I woke up every single day. I would go to the bathroom. It was about 9:30 a.m. A bit late. And every time I went to wash my hands, I would look at the floor instead of the mirror because I hated what I saw. Every time I did see a glimpse of myself, I would go to the kitchen and grab some food to shut up the noise. So it was a terrible reality. And something that helped me change was the thought of, if I keep doing this, what would my life look like? 20 years down the road. And I came to the conclusion that I'd probably die before I was 30, and that my family would keep going down the same road, and I knew that I needed to be the one to lead them out of it. So this question is more to empower you, but Jenny, what do you think that reality would look like if you continue down this road?
Down the road of losing.
No, down the road of if you don't make a change.
Yeah, we have a lot of medical needs, more so. And
Just talking about health.
yeah, live a very stagnant life. And yeah, I've still got a lot of life to live. And I don't want to spend it sitting in a chair. Which I can see possibly happening. Because it's going to be too hard to stand up and walk and move around, etc. And yeah, that's not going to be right for me.
Yeah. What do you think that reality would be like? Let's say 10 years pass and you're not able to watch the ability that you would want, and you're not playing with your own children. You're still living this reality where you don't like what you see in the mirror. What do you think it would feel like for you, looking back, knowing that you could have made that change but you didn't?
She's shaking her head while listening.
Yeah, I'd be very disappointed in myself, and I'd be extremely depressed.
Okay.
And I don't think I'd want to be here anymore.
So option is either change or death.
So are you committed to making sure that reality doesn't happen?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Once again, I'm confident you're going to do really well here.
I'm confident you're going to do well here. Good stuff.
Appreciate you being open and honest. It shows character. Do you feel like there's anything that you haven't told me that you think that I should know?
Not really, no.
Okay,
Not
cool.
yet.
Alright, and then I pitch. So we're going to go to objections.
You choose to do the 12 months, you get 13 months of coaching. Little free bonus. It's pretty cool. From everything that I've covered, do you believe that this can get you where you want to be?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, awesome. What do you think stands out the most to you? Point being, whatever it is that you did,
I'll look at that. Yeah.
I don't want you on 15 different programs. I want you on the one. You don't need that other. I think 12 months is more than enough time to build the habits, to lose the weight, and fix your metabolism. If you do work with business teams to get you to your goal for good, it's 7.5k AUD. Now, some people who prefer to put that on like a credit card up front for the coins. Most people, they spread it over a longer time period with a credit card, as long as their limit's enough, but we can break that down to roughly 500 to 800 per month. Do you have the full thing that we could put towards it, or would it be better if we broke that up for you?
That's a lot. I'm going to have to think on that.
Okay.
Think about it. Who would have thought it? First step is get her into results-based thinking again.
Yeah.
That's okay. Before you do go and think about it, do you believe, like, what's most important to me is alignment? So do you believe that this can actually get you to your goal of 65 kilos?
Well, I do, yeah.
Okay, cool. And do you feel that there's any reason that, given the fact that you're going to put in the work, that
Positive tie down, negative tie down. Is there any reason this wouldn't work? I could also ask, what about the program do you like the most?
it wouldn't work?
No, it should work. It should.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then, I guess regarding the investment, is it something that you can actually afford, or would it send you on the straight?
When she said should, I could have said, when you say should, it will, yeah? There's no reason it wouldn't. Yeah, you're right, cool. Then logistics. Get her, can she actually afford this?
I'm just thinking that's a lot of money that could be used for medical for my son-in-law. To hopefully get him to live longer.
Bro, hit me with the cancer treatment. Bro, it's a bit different for the pain.
And at this stage, it's more important that he is here for his kids.
I fundamentally, in the back of my mind, I'm like, this is the shame holding you back. And if you keep justifying your situation, you're never going to reach your goal. So although, like, let's say $7.5 grand would get him another day, it's chemo treatment. I'm pretty sure it's a scam anyway. I don't know if that's right or wrong. I've just heard a lot of people talk negatively about it. But regardless, I know that this money is going to change her life, which if she doesn't change hers, her grandchildren are stuffed because she needs to take care of them.
Yeah, so that's what I've got to think about. Yeah.
I'm not surprised that that's what's come up for you. Like, based on your history, you've always been putting people first, yeah?
Yeah.
Get her to know that's the problem.
I want
As a mother-in-law,
Yeah.
He's a great guy. Over the years, I've been extremely lucky. As has my daughter.
And I think that's honourable. Can I ask, like, do you actually have $7.5 grand that you could spend on him or you?
Yeah, I do.
Because she does. She's got the money. Logistical die down.
I want to make this as collaborative as possible because we do have programs that are slightly cheaper and ultimately they fit the budget.
Pushing 7.5k in this current moment, I didn't think was aligned. I was like, okay, let me downsell her because I know that she's going to feel better about it going into the program. Could I have pitched higher and fought on it? Yes, sure. But I knew that in that current moment that it would most likely serve her best if I downsold.
Just a little bit better, but I need to know that, like, if I help you out, that you're willing to actually help yourself, because even if I say, hey, your program's only 3k, you can still...
Yeah. I don't know, really. I'm going to have to take some time to really think about it now.
Think about it. So, immediately chunk down. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? That's what I should do, but I think I did that before. Now, this is less about the perfect word track, but rather to stick inside of the pocket. Like, be comfortable in objections and continue pushing, because this is what pushes people who need accountability over the line costs. Like, this is what that looks like.
Can I ask, when you say 7.5 grand, do you have, because I think we can make something work, do you have a credit card with a 7.5k limit?
I don't have a credit card.
Okay, so it's all like cash, or like debit, for example.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Alright. I guess for you, I'm not here to convince you whether your life is more worth than his.
I
However,
don't, yeah.
However, I feel like I need to challenge you in this moment, because you've lived 30 years of your life living this way, and you can continue to justify putting other people first, and I think that that's noble, and that's what's hard. It's a noble cause. But if you keep doing this, you're going to be pouring from an empty cup, and those same grandchildren are going to be left in the same boat.
I know.
So can I challenge you to take the step, not just for you, but for them as well?
Where do you think that will leave them? That would have landed. Because she's coming from a selfless frame of like, I'm trying to help other people. And I'm like, where do you think that would leave your grandchildren 5 years from now when you're incapable of taking care of them?
I don't think I can right now.
Okay. What's coming up in your mind that makes you think that? Like, there's no reason you wouldn't.
I'm just thinking I've got to find it within myself to do this on my own.
I thought, just to make the money situation a bit easier, if we split it up, it was going to be 7.5. But since you have it all like debit, what we do is we make it 5.8k AUD. So it's a little bit more budget friendly.
I don't recommend doing this, but in this specific scenario, I can tell she's in a high stress state. I know that she can make it work, but I want to be able to make sure that she can financially not. Bro, if she spends 10 grand AU going into this program, she's still gonna feel guilt. And I could try to remove that on this call by doing like hypnosis strategies and whatnot, but I was like, okay, let's go down for the downside. Once again, I wouldn't recommend it. I probably wouldn't do it again unless it was final.
But regardless of that point,
Yeah.
I think that it's important that you have belief that you can do it anyway. But the truth is, over the past 30 years, that's been the approach and it hasn't worked.
Yeah, I haven't always tried though.
How many times would you say you've tried? In 3 decades.
Seriously tried probably once. And then, yeah, have it not work. Giving up, and having the doctor say also that it's not going to work. But I can prove him wrong too. So, yeah.
Let me quickly do something. If I'm going to do a quick translation. 1.5k USD into Australian dollars. 1.5 thousand American dollars into Australian. Okay, cool. So I think based on what we've talked about, the worst thing to do would be to get off the call and not take any action. And I normally wouldn't offer this because I know that the 12-month option is what is going to serve you best. However, I also think that if you do that, consciously you're going to feel guilt and shame for putting yourself first, which we need to address that, but we can't address that in the next 5 minutes. So what I'm willing to do for you, don't do this very often, is offer a 3-month program that's only 2.1k where we can actually help you get into this sustainable lifestyle, building your metabolism back up, and actually getting healthy not just for you but for your grandkids too. And I challenge you for the first time in 30 years to do this more so that you can actually be there for your grandchildren in the future.
Yeah, honestly, I just think, I don't know. I need time to think.
Okay.
I do.
When you think, like, what do you think thinking would accomplish in your mind?
I'm going to talk it over with my husband.
Who doesn't support you in your weight loss?
Yeah, but he's going to have to. I'm going to put myself first and tell him.
The husband that earlier in the call she said literally sabotages her weight loss because he's incompetent and overweight as well.
Well, can I ask, like, husband aside, is this something that you even want to do?
Look, I'd like to do it.
I know it's not the husband's problem, it's her problem.
I'd like to lose it.
Sometimes we put too much weight on it. When you hear, oh, I want to talk to my husband, in her mind she's probably thinking, I just need to talk to someone about it. It's not like, oh, a decision, it's, I'm stressed out right now and I think it would help if I talk to someone.
Maybe my mind's just not there yet.
You're there, you're at the finish line. The only thing that's holding you back is, I think there's some guilt and shame in terms of putting yourself first. But you think it's putting yourself over other people, but the truth is, it's not. Because if you put yourself first, then you can actually help them more, pouring from a full cup.
Look, I know all that.
To know and not to do is not to know.
To know and not to do is not to know.
If it's your daughter that's married to your son-in-law, correct? And I ask, if your daughter was in this position 30 years from now, what would you want her to do? If she'd been struggling the way that you have?
She doesn't know.
No,
She's a totally different person. Yeah.
let's say, God willing, touch wood, that doesn't happen, but what if it did in a hypothetical scenario? If you'd been struggling for 30 years in the same way that you have, and she was in the same predicament, what would you want her to do?
Yeah, we'll do what she could to get herself out of it, obviously.
Why?
Getting tie-downs and buying into why this is the right decision because she's not fully believing that this is the right one. So I'm like, okay, well, let's change the frame size and put it on your daughter. If it was her in this situation, what would you tell her to do? Because obviously we give the best advice to other people, not ourselves. So what would you tell her to do? Why would you tell her to do that?
Well, because I want the best for my child.
Where do you think this will lead you, Jenny? Like, continuing to put yourself on the back burner?
Yeah, to that person sitting in a chair. Yeah.
Can I share a perspective on why these calls are so powerful?
Mhm.
Because for the past 30 years, like, this has been a thought process that's continued to lead you in the same position that's led you to where you are now. And what we get to do is we get to unpack the past, the present, and the future emotional triggers so that you can make a decision to change your life right here, right now, almost collapse, and make a choice to actually change your identity to the version of you that's the best. And using those emotional triggers, knowing that for the past 30 years you've disliked what you've seen in the mirror, if you continue going down this road, you're going to end up in a wheelchair and unactive able to walk, which means that your grandchildren don't have a
I make this almost seem as if this is the only time she can ever do it, because for the past 30 years her thought processes have led her to where they are, to where she is, and if she doesn't take opportunity now when we have these emotional triggers, then she's never going to reach her goal.
grandma or now. Using those emotional triggers, we can leverage that to finally put a stop to this, like you deserve. So with all that being said,
Like you deserve is very powerful.
Jenny, and I challenge you to finally draw that line in the sand, to put yourself in that position where we can get you down to 65 kilos once and for all.
I've challenged her 4 times right now, like total.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it right now.
Usually, when all of the logic aligns, for example, you know that you could make it fit in the budget, there's no reason that this wouldn't work, and you do believe that it would work, there's a bit of fear and uncertainty. Is that what you feel right now?
Logically, if they aren't doing it, it's because there's fear or uncertainty. I already know that, but if I can highlight that and tell her that, I can take her down a certain track.
Probably. Yeah.
What type of fear do you think that you're feeling at the moment?
The fear that I won't do it, and it'll be money that I've spent for no reason.
Okay.
Fair enough. So let's not let you fail.
Do you feel as though everything that we've spoken about today, that right now you're going to make a decision that you're not going to end up wasting the money, but rather live that future that you and your family deserve?
No, my head's going the other way now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do want to say that is normal. When you've been living in these patterns for 30 years, like, I'm not going to say that it's uncommon. However, the version of you that is 65 kilos,
She's been conditioned a certain way for the past 30 years. I need to make her know that it's normal that she feels that way. However, we can't let that fear hold her back, and that being brave is acting despite the fear, not feeling the fear.
what way do you think that she thinks?
About making this decision. Oh, well, she would think, yes, it's the right thing to do.
Okay. And I understand that right now
Why?
there's potentially some like stress and whatnot. I've been in the exact same position as you. I know what it feels like, but I also know what's on the other side of it. I have a healthy life. So if you know that the version of you that gets to this goal will make the decision, and that if you don't, you're going to stay stuck and weaponize it, calling it selflessness, when in reality it's actually selfish, because you put yourself in a position where your grandkids don't get a grandma. Don't you think you should put yourself in that position?
I know where you're coming from, I really do.
Where am I coming from?
That, yeah, do it. Yes, it is selfish to possibly not be there for them.
Do you think that you deserve to keep living this way?
I don't know.
I'm here to tell you no. If anybody's ever not said no, I'm here to tell you that you don't deserve this reality. Jenny, you deserve to wake up every single fucking day, loving what you see in the mirror, with energy, accomplishing what you want, serving people, going to these booking classes with autistic people, helping out your grandchildren, being there for them. But the only thing that's stopping you right now is you.
Yes, me, yeah.
And there's a bridge, and you continue to not walk it because it seems a little bit scary. And it's always going to be scary, Jenny. But the truth is, that's the bridge that needs to be walked to get you across the island.
Mm.
You're that warm frog in the boiling water. You need to get out. You can keep living this uncomfortable reality comfortably. We can finally get uncomfortable to live a comfortable reality. What do you think you should do?
Bang, let's go, baby.
Well, what does the 3 months program give me?
Everything
Okay, bang.
that I described, instead of it being 12 months, it's 3 months. And that's the shame talking.
So you can do 2.1k for 3 months.
Yep.
Okay, let's do that.
Jenny, how do you feel?
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll make it work. Yeah, okay.
I don't want this to seem like I'm talking down to you, but I'm fucking proud of you.
I'm choosing me. Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. Let's fucking go.
Bang, let's go. $150, baby. No, it's not for the $150. If you sell only for commission and you don't care about the people on the other side of the call to the extent where you're willing to go through that, then you do not deserve the sale. Drop your silver bullets in the comment section below. I would appreciate to see anybody's learnings. Let's get it.